absolute is nullified, so it is zeroed down and start with nothing actually, and moving towards what we could probably be.
Partially right.
Absolutely integrity to be like, I have my certain set of principles, and whatever be the scenario, I'm not going to compensate on it. Relative could be like, given a scenario, I may say that I need not be honest because the situation is like that. So that would be relative.
90% right, yeah. Are you getting it? What she said? So absolute is a boolean, basically. Absolute is 0 or 1. So why I mean by saying that it moves from a scale of absolute to relative is when you were young, I'm sure, can you go back to your younger days? Your parents would have told, you should not tell lies. So what you would have told? Yes, I will not tell lies. That is absolute. I won't do it. It's a boolean. You either do something or you don't do something. If you do something, that is wrong. So you don't do something. Do you remember? You would have told, don't steal from your neighbor's lunchbox. So if you place a hand for that sweet, obviously you would be thinking, my parents have told that, so I will not do it today. Go back. I want you to go back to your younger days. Yes or no?
Yes.
Do you agree? So there are a lot of principles that your parents have taught, right? Do you follow that right now? So it has moved from absolute to relative. So what I mean by relative is, today we follow integrity as per our convenience. Right? I can steal a bank tomorrow and get 1 crore. And I'll never get caught. Is something most of us would try to do. You get what I'm trying to say? So what is the scale is something that you have to measure. Again, most of it lies on you. It doesn't lie on like your supervisors or like your bosses or your parents or anything. Where you lie on the scale of integrity is determined by you. If you lie on the scale, in the integrity scale, if you lie on the absolute side, you have a very high self-esteem of yourself. If you lie on the relative, you actually have a very low self-esteem of yourself. And that actually has an impact on all other things like courage, self-confidence, and ability to take decisions, and ability to communicate and everything. It has a very, very, very silent impact on all other factors. Are you getting it? Or is it too abstract? So, ability to focus on the absolute is a very, very important attribute. And I'm not saying it is impossible, it is difficult, but it is extremely possible. It is possible. But you need to try. You need to try it. In whatever you do, are you sticking to the absolute fundamentals? Does your mind say that it is correct? Is it honest? Is it true? If your mind says yes, go for it. If your mind says no, but you got to tweak it because you don't want to face the repercussions, or you want to project a good image, or you want to do something else, those are all relative. You move to the relative scale. Make sense? Do you guys agree? Then comes, communication. Again, why I said communication is a fundamental, this thing in the whole scheme of things is, I am not referring to, outspoken communication or flamboyant communication or charismatic communication or, amazing usage of verbal communication, nothing like that. All I mean by communication is the ability to express yourself in whatever language you choose to express yourself. That's it. That's what I mean by communication. Your ability to express yourself when you have a problem, when you have an issue, when you have a happiness, is all I call by communication. Let me give you an example here. Your communication will change depending on your success. Okay, say today you have a group of friends. 5 years down the line, you become extremely successful in relation to the group of friends that you have today. And they are at the same place where they are. Do you think your communication will remain the same with respect to the sphere that you are with?
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, says.
No, I'm not talking a single individual. I'm talking about the group. Of course, that's great to know. But what I'm saying is, as a group, I'm saying, all of us put together, I think that's a difficult challenge. That is what I mean by communication. Your ability to make sure that your communication is perfect, irrespective of your failure or success, is very, very important. That is what I mean by communication here. Both written and spoken. It doesn't mean English or this thing. When you get a success or a failure, your ability to handle communication is an art. Not everybody knows that. Right? There is a popular, saying by Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe is a very famous writer. He says the searchlight falls on you for a very small period of time. The searchlight falls on you for a very small period of time. During that period, if you are able to demonstrate humility, courtesy, and respect, that goes a long way. And these are all genuine when you demonstrate when you are in power. Right? So that is very important, and like a lot of times people miss this out. So how you communicate to others, irrespective of your situation or your circumstance, is a very important attribute for you to scale up. You might have a bad day today, you might have a great day today, but how you are, handling that with respect to the people whom you are meeting is a very, very important, attribute. It is very difficult. Most of it, I'm not saying it is impossible. My request is, if you consciously take this and if you consciously follow, you will become a much better person at the end of the day. Right? If you become a much better person, you become a good leader. Right? I don't want to focus on just becoming a leader. I want to focus on becoming a better person. If you become a better human being, you become a better leader. Leadership, good leader is a subset of a good human being. Okay? So, the fourth thing is attitude. I don't need to talk too much about the attitude because I'm sure all of you guys, know about it. This point I specifically wrote for students whom I interact with, because a lot of people don't know what attitude means. So I'm sure all of you know what it is, right? If you want me to explain it? Yes or no? Not required, right? Upbringing. Why did I put Japanese culture here?
It's like opening.
Huh?
Culture is open.
Yes, you are on the right track, but not the right answer. Why did I put upbringing and Japanese culture here?
Overall,
They'll have the child on the back.
Huh?
They'll have the child on the back.
it's more
Interesting.
team building, team collaboration kind of things. All the Six Sigma related.
It's partially right. It's partially
Okay,
right.
from a company perspective, if you're talking about mentoring, this signifies mentoring, it's about grooming people.
Wrong time.
Ability to bounce back,
Huh?
ability to bounce back from failure.
Partially right.
Overall development.
Venkat, you should say. You were with Japanese people, right? Yeah, somebody was telling. Who said?
Overall complete development.
Complete development, no.
Japanese are basically known to be very hardworking people, and you take the example of Hiroshima. After the devastation, how much they could build. So, could be that.
Good. No, good thinking. Again, partially right. Yeah. Huh? Aggressive. Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of tough because I connect the dot, right? So it's not a perfect answer.